This is fun. You know, if you're into this sort of thing. You just kind of get lost in your own thoughts. You pay attention to the detail, but there's no real thought involved. It's just watching the needle go in and out. I moved here in 1983, and the first apartment I found happened to be right next, sharing a back door with Michael James and sharing a front door with Katie Hogan. And they lived in the same building. About 4 years later, I decided I didn't like what I was doing, so I asked if I could get a job here. And I worked my way up to mismanager of the place. Probably worked here from 87 to 93 would be a good guess. Mismanager for the last few years of that. I was good friends with Chef Tanya, the late great Chef Tanya. Palled around with Katie Donlin and Chef Earl. Jerry Smith, I'm assuming he's here still, right? Mm-hmm. Gosh, a whole cast of old hippies. And I say that endearingly. In essence, a three-color pumpkin. Dark orange, medium orange, and light orange. Those would be the three colors. The medium orange is achieved by scraping off part of the skin up to a ½ inch or less, quarter inch, and then the lightest of oranges is just cut it all the way through and you light up the back end with a candle, just like the old jack-o'-lanterns. Make a really nice pattern, tape it to the pumpkin, and then methodically poke holes all in it until you've poked all the holes you can, and then you take it off and you go, holy crap, that's a lot of holes. Where the heck am I? Well, first of all, I felt like he was probably the most important one to have on display. So I chose the largest pumpkin I had. He's probably got the most detail involved. A lot of that grayscale stuff where you have to use the linoleum type or woodworking tools to scrape portions of the pumpkin skin away. You know, there was a lot of that. And I just felt he was, like I said, he was probably the most important one of the bunch. Since his big day's coming up, I just wanted him to look good, that's all. I don't want to create patterns and make pumpkins that somebody could say, oh, I could have done that. You know, I want to create pumpkins and patterns that people just say, wow, I didn't know you could do that with a pumpkin. That's the most fun. You wanted to be careful about those two pieces, these two pieces. So you may have seen in a lot of stores, the Kmarts and the Targets, etc., little books with the books. They're little kits, and they typically include a pattern book with 10 patterns of ghosts and goblins and witches, and then it also includes a little plastic saw and a little plastic scraper and, you know, a little plastic poker. And a buddy of mine gave me one of those. He said, you ought to try this, it's kind of fun. And I did, and I was skeptical the whole time I was doing it, that this will never work. And then when I finished and lit it up, it was like, wow, it really worked. These patterns really suck. How can I create my own patterns? And so I started going through my slides, my photography, and projecting them onto a wall and creating patterns off some of the slides that I had, and particularly friends of mine who I had pictures of. So I would project them onto a piece of paper, draw out a pattern, and then put it on, and then go through this same process. But, and then nobody would let me take their picture after I started doing it successfully. So. People have asked, well, what do they look like during the day? Like my answer is like, what do fireworks look like during the day? And, how about a really nice Christmas light display in the bright sunlight? This doesn't quite do it.
All right. Wow, that's gorgeous.
Does that work?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, of course. So much is more defined now.
It's easy enough that anybody can do it as long as they take their time. That's the most important thing. And of course, the love of it. You need to love it. It's a labor of love. Some people have sailboats. We carve pumpkins.
Oh, Baracky's great.
He knew that it was inevitable that he was and I'm guessing that his obituary was written 20 years ago.